channel. Today's video is going to be something which is very different. Before we begin with the video, I just want to give a short introduction of myself. I am Dr. Mital Shah. I'm a physiotherapist and I just graduated recently in April from Mumbai. I'm a physiotherapist from Mumbai, and I've been wanting to make certain videos and talk about certain things. But this video is especially for you guys, everyone who is an aspiring medical student, no matter if you have passed your 10th or you're in school and aspiring to become a doctor or any other part of the medical field. This video is for you. I have been wanting to make this for a long time, but I was just contemplating what all to include, what to not include, what kind of video to make. Should I make it alone? Should I invite other people to talk about it and stuff? But something happened today and it made me sit down and make this video right in front of you guys. So yeah, that is the context, basically, just to give you guys a background of why I'm talking about it and what position I am in to talk about it. And this is going to be my own experience. It's a heart-to-heart video. Every single thing that I have gone through, and I know everyone who has been with me does feel the same. So I feel like somewhere whatever I'm thinking is true, and I'm going to be talking about the truth. There is not going to be any lie, there's not going to be any fabrication, there's not going to be any sugar coating of anything. This is just the blatant truth that not a lot of people talk about, and only once you go through things you realize things are not as they are portrayed to be. But yeah, we are just gonna ignore if there is any background noise or here and there. I want to keep it like very, very real. I don't want it to be like an edited or like a fancy video. This is a very heart to heart and a very, very different video, not something that I have done on my channel. But yeah, let's get started. So basically, I have two parts to this story. One is a dream and one is my entire story. Now, once I tell you my entire story, only then will you be able to correlate with the dream, and we will come to why, as in why I am sitting here and making this story. So if you are someone who's always aspired to be a doctor, or your family is telling you, or whatever, but your goal is to enter the medical field, then you must know that you do need a lot of research. But sometimes not everyone is aware about it. I personally, since I was a kid, I always wanted to become a doctor. Especially I wanted to become a pediatrician. I was inspired a lot, and my pediatrician was my role model, and that is what I always wanted to do. And I think it is a really, really great field. Working with kids, that is amazing, but that is what I have wanted to become since I was a child. My parents knew, my family knew, they've supported my dreams, and as it all went and everything, I once I finished my 10th, so I was an ICSE board, and you of course have to make the choice between science or economics. I chose science because I wanted to become a doctor, and so I feel like I also had a lot of people who were ahead of me, older than me, so I had a lot of guidance coming through that. One thing that a lot of people make mistakes is not doing proper research. You really need to research everything. I am telling you, what do you want to become, which field you want to get it. And I feel the most important thing before you start any of this is having respect for every medical professional field, whether it's an MBBS doctor, whether it's an MD doctor, whether it's a DNB, whether it's a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, PNO, speech therapist, audiologist. We have the nursing staff, and we have all the technicians and stuff. Everyone has different designations. They might not be a doctor, but we all form a medical council team, and it is very, very important to have respect. It's not like if you are not an MBBS, you are nothing. You need to have respect and research for every medical field before you decide to step into it. Once you have done your research and once you have respect, you need to find out what really interests you, and I think what options are available to you, how you are gonna achieve that result of getting into that field. All of these have one common entrance exam in India as of now, which is NEET, which is National Entrance Come Exit Test, something like that. I'm so sorry, I'll leave it here, it's been a while for me. But no, National Eligibility Come Entrance Test, yeah, I think that is it. So yeah, that is it. So before making up your mind, because scoring is really really important, and if you are from the general category, I'm not shading anything, not shading anyone, not defaming, but it's very difficult now because a lot of these parts go to the individuals who are from certain castes and categories, so the competition is even tougher. But yeah, so you need to do your thorough research and have respect for every field. Keep your options open, see what interests you, and go for that. Second research that you need to do is how you're going to achieve, in the sense, are you going to join some classes, are you going to do it through your college, are you going to do it to your own, are you going to go to individual professors, or whatever you want to do. Now this, the main part of this is going to be about my personal experience. I don't know how to talk about it, you guys. It really makes me very emotional. But yeah, so yeah, that's about it. So once you finish your 10th, and it's not that if you get 95 in 10th you have to become a doctor, please. All of these, I'm telling you, if you do not do proper research, the amount of money that is put in, the hard work, the struggles that are going to come with it, I'm of course going to make a video about the entire, like, med school thing is another thing, but before you enter med school, it's a whole another thing that not a lot of people talk about. And yeah, it's not, I would say, not the good part, and actually the truth about what happens. But yeah, that is what it is. So for me, let's just get into my story, because ऐसे देखने जाए तो there's a lot of advice that I could actually give you. And yeah, so basically I think I was, this is going to be truth, okay? So I'm not going to keep on explaining myself, but throughout school I was a very very good student, I was a very bright student, and I was an ICSE board. In my 10th I scored 95 percentage, which was in 2016. That is when I passed out my 10th. I joined good classes for all subjects, and the science and maths classes that I joined. And of course we had people who had joined the classes that I was about to join for my NEET entrance, basically for my PCB. But also it was something which was like very renowned, and right now also it is. I come and I joined from classes which were very, like, very very popular, which are very very popular right now. It has a very big name. If you want to take like PCB, and especially like medical field, there are only a top few classes, and I come from one of them. And yeah, that was about it. So that's when I took admission, and I think once the admissions do open pretty soon, even before your results are announced. So I think May even the classes start, like May June ke around. There are like two batches, I feel. The May usually the classes start. If you want to get into the medical field, and that's how it went for me. And yeah, so it all started, and things went on. After a year I started to realize that, and so yeah, I'm gonna talk, because after a year I started to realize that something's not right. And I knew I was not doing good, I knew it was not gonna be good for me. And there were tests like every single week. On one particular day there was a test, and I did not do good. Day by day it was just not good. There was not one test where I did good. And I just didn't know. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know why it was happening. I could not figure out. I just knew I was not doing good. I was not understanding what is going on. I could not pay attention in lectures. I was on my phone in the lectures. But I just didn't know what to do, because my whole life I was a good student, and now suddenly I'm just not doing good. And it did bother me. But when I come to realize that now, when I've finished my bachelor's and I've realized that I am doing good, So, where it all really starts is once you enter, it's all good in the beginning because it's easy stuff. But once things start getting difficult, there's so many lectures, and it's a big, like, basically it's a model where it's like there are so many people. That's not the problem, okay? Teachers are good. There's so many people that their teaching is good, but it's just that so much happens, there's so much to cover, and things just keep on coming back to back to back, giving tests every single day, and you do bad in one test, you get demotivated, that gets carried over, you have no time to rectify your mistakes, you have absolutely no time to sit back and analyze things and work hard on it, because bam, another test comes in. And it was all good in the start, but I just feel like I could not pay attention in the lectures. I don't know what it was. I could absolutely not pay attention. So many books and so many things to cover. So much information is packed that you just don't know. And from the very start, it's all put in your head like this is where everything is absolutely wrong. The only thing this put in your mind is MBBS. Your goal, if you've taken PCB, is MBBS. No matter what you do, MBBS. MBBS, you have to get MBBS in Mumbai. You have to get MBBS from a government college, and the only college that you can get MBBS from is KEM or say GS Medical College. If you fail to achieve that, you are a loser in your life. You have failed. You will never be accomplishing what you are here for. That's the only dream every single person is dreamt about, which is not wrong to dream about bigger things, achieving bigger things, but to make it an obsession, to make it and project it in such a way that if you do anything apart from this, you're gonna be a failure, is just degrading and disrespecting other professions. It's degrading your own self, that even if you're not able to get in that college and some other college, you are never gonna be a doctor, you are just like a failure. No. Doctors come from every different college that is there. We have doctors from all over the world, all over India. We have different professions. It's not just about MBBS. So that mentality is just so bad, it's so toxic. Every single day that is fed into your head, and trust me, you are literally not even 18 years old, you are bombarded with so much, you're not performing good. This is the only thing. Your parents have expectations from you, your friends have, you have your own expectations, the teachers have some expectations from you, and it's all a lot for you to process, and it's not easy. You might be thinking that's such a dumb thing to do, like only if you know you're a good student or whatever, like if you are able to do that, only then you should like enter field, or aise to sabko hota hai, this happens normally. But no, like if getting into the medical field, it's a big life ahead of you, and it's not easy, and this is not the right way you approach a student. This is absolutely not the right way, and I have learned this, and I agree with this, and every single person I know who's been there with me through this journey and who is a doctor right now will agree to this. I know from them, I have talked to them, and we all think the same. That thing is wrong. Second thing, having tests blindly every single day without giving time to analyze, because you have tests every day also, daily tests, but then you also have weekly tests. So it's like every single day you are just giving tests. I can sit here and give 100 tests right now and still do pathetic. I need to sit down, I need to reflect back, I need to see where I'm lagging, I need that guidance from someone to see where I'm lacking, but that guidance is missing. It's all just expectations, and God forbid you do bad. I don't even want to get into details, but it's just not a good place to be in. Your parents getting on you, your teachers like actually shaming you for not doing good. your teacher's not even paying attention to you because they know you're not doing good. This is one other thing that is a lot of times happen over there. Is after a while, you do know that this person is doing good, this person is not doing good. So then the entire attention focuses towards who's doing good, because obviously they need to push them even more so they can achieve good results, which is good. But the fact that you just look upon them so nicely and look down upon people who are not doing good is not the right thing to do. That happens a lot, and it really sucks, because I'm telling you, those 2 years, I did not know what was happening with me. I just did not know what to figure out, like what is going on, whatever is happening. Every single day, I used to sit in this fear that I hope my mom dad ko mere marks na pata chale, because I was like, all I am doing is just disappointing them. I studied, but I just could not score good. And the only reason behind that was, I would say, like, I was not taught the right way to study. I was not put on the right path. I'm telling you guys, people who do good is because they catch up with that learning method. Everyone has different methods of studying, and you need to figure that on your own. And I get it, we have very less time. Classes, like, every teacher is not going to wait for every student because everyone has a different pacing. But this kind of unhealthy competition, looking down upon people who don't do good, and this toxic mentality that if you don't become an MBBS doctor from KEM, you are gonna fail in life, is just so wrong. And that, unlike innumerable times of torture that I have gone through, which they have done on every single person, it's just so bad. And then, like, seeing, like, me and Hate, like, let me just give an example of me and Hate were together in the same classes. We're not in the same batch, but she always performed better than me. And there were times, and I just felt like she's doing good and I know I can do good, but why am I not able to do good? And I just felt so ashamed of myself that, like, my best friend is doing so good and I'm not able to do it. Like, where am I lacking? Like, what is happening with me? I just could not figure out. And it's not that I did not put in hard work, but I just did not know what to do. Even after spending so much money, even after joining these classes, it was just like a place of hell for me, which I realized once I was done. Okay, it's raining right now, so there might be a lot of rain noise as well, but excuse that. But yeah, this is something no one tells you about. Like, it is so toxic to be there, tests every day. I'm not saying that's bad, but the way everything is just put upon you, and not every single person can cope up with that. I know it's a competition, it's only for the fittest, survival of the fittest, but that's not true, right? Like, we are losing people who have dreamt of good things, and we are looking down upon things which should not be, professions which should be respected. And this is not the right way. Like, once I entered into my bachelor's, and I have consistently been scoring, like, I would say, like, more than 68 percentage in my university exams under MUHS. And if you know that it's very difficult to score that, but how am I able to do? I'm the same person, right? It's not like once I entered into this field I became smart. It's just I found a good learning method for me. I sat down, I studied myself, I put in that hard work to see what works out for me, and did that without any pressure or any expectations. But you guys have no idea that how terrified and how bad those 6 months were, because I was not able to score good in my exams. And that's another thing, like, if you don't score good, no one even cares, no one even bothers to think about what you will be able to do, or help you figure out what you will be able to do. And a lot of us don't clear exams in the first go. I've seen people who have given for like 5-6 attempts and done good. People have repeated twice, thrice, and maybe if I would have done like twice or thrice, maybe I could have gotten into MBBS, but maybe I could have never. Even after giving like 5 attempts, I couldn't have been able to clear. And I did not want to waste my year, and that is why I chose physiotherapy, because that was my second option that was available to me. But I have never looked down that, oh, I'm settling down for physiotherapy. No, I loved both of them equally. I was open to both of them. And yeah, whatever was in my um, destiny. That is what I got. And that is one thing, like, they do a lot of counseling, this college, that college, but never have I heard them talk about any other profession except MBBS. I know you are bringing students and you're only coaching people to become doctors, but please give regard to other professions. And if you are someone who's not able to score good enough to get into MBBS, know that every single profession is respected well enough, and nothing is like a degrade. It's not like कि अगर मैं फिजियोथेरेपी ले रही हूँ या ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपी ले रही हूँ, I'm just like getting something, a lower hand on something, or just settling down for something. That is not true. Every profession has its own perks, and every profession is unique in its own way. And that is why you need to sit down and do your research about what profession is gonna work for you, what interests you and what does not. And this, I feel like, instead of like getting into this huge like fear mongering environment where you are just scared, you are lost, you just don't know, you're just unable to figure out, and every single day is just a push down to your mental health, it is not the right environment. And I just feel it's gonna be so difficult for you to clear your entrance exam, because you're constantly gonna be pressurized about things. And I don't know how I survived. Like, even when now I look back, and even while I'm talking about it, it was such a bad place I've been to. It is such a bad choice. I feel like even now I'm just like not being able to like fully put that out in front of you. But guys, think well before like getting admitted, or like just being like, oh, all I need to do is go to these classes and I'll become a doctor. That's not true. And also, it's not always good about these classes. The way they treat you, the way they put certain things in your mind, that's not the right way. And trust me, it's really gonna mess your mental health up. It's just not a good space to be in. And I don't know what else to put in, but let's also talk about giving reattempts, and how you like get through this. And I've seen a lot of people do give reattempts in NEET. See, PG NEET, of course, it's like mandatory. तुमको it's like that नज़र का टीका की reattempt तो करना ही है. But NEET UG, lot of times people just clear in the one go or choose different fields. You have different options. अब यहाँ पे क्या होता है, people who repeat, even they are looked down upon. People who repeat like twice, thrice, look, you need to decide what you're passionate about. You need to decide how hardworking you are, because this is just the beginning. Med school toxicity, med school culture is a whole different thing. So if you are mentally strong, you have that ability to get through that, get through PG and get through 10 to 15 years of mental pressure put on you every single day, only then get into this, because it all starts from these classes. Once you join, it all starts from there. You might not realize, just like me, I was diagnosed with a lot of mental health issues post my result, because everything came crashing down. I just didn't know how to figure out life. I felt like a failure, which they said, like, if you don't get into MBBS, you're a failure. That's not true. Keep options open, because only where you're destined to be, that's where you're gonna go. And it's not necessary that even if you don't do MBBS, I am so happy in my life right now, and I feel like I've chosen the right field for me. Kate, who is doing MBBS, that was meant for her. Doing it from KJ was meant for her, and she is living the best life that she could, and she got that for herself, and she's destined to be there. That's how it is for all of us. So that's what I said, like giving 2 to 3 reattempts, maybe that's what's meant for you, and that's how it was about to happen for you. But if not, just keep fields open, have respect and have research for so many different medical fields. And it's medical is not just MBBS. Medical is not just like only if you're a doctor, if you're MBBS. No, we are regarded as doctors, and this title is given to us by the university itself. It's not like they're self-proclaiming it. So do not look down upon other medical professionals. You alone cannot be good for a patient, you know. You need a team, a medical team for the goodwill of a patient. So that's something that you really, really need to keep in mind, and just really know that, you know, everything is not always uh, happy cherries and, you know, like just joyous and playful and everything. No, it that torture, that mental health degradation, it starts from there, and that is what you need to catch up on. I feel the right way is to you pick a tutor for yourself, pick a classes for yourself which has a healthy environment, which is a healthy competition. Everyone is always ready to serve you and not look down upon you, and a place where you can find the right learning method for you. You know, there are a lot of like online classes, physical classes, one-on-one classes. You need to sit and figure out what works the best for you and get into that, because if you get into a wrong thing like I did, it's just gonna take you from here to here as a person. You are gonna suffer a lot, because struggle does not end here. I told you, struggle goes on till med school. And why I wanted to talk about this, because see, these are a few things that you need to keep in mind. Behind the scenes, a lot of other things happen. um, if I like sit to talk about it, it's gonna be a lot. But basically, I wanted to focus on these three things, and I'll tell you guys why I wanted to sit and talk about it is because I had a dream today. So the dream was that I was so basically there was a class going on, and I had a biology exam on Sunday, and there was this nice helper, like there are like assistants basically who help out the professors, who organize the tests and everything, because that was what happened in my class. So that is the mindset that I have. And this was a very nice guy, and he asked all of us if you all would like to come on 7 o'clock on for the exam day, and we all collectively said no, 7:30. And my mom said, oh, you can visit your brother's house as well. So I was like, okay. And then suddenly I just didn't wake up on that day. I woke up at 8 o'clock, but I was confused if the test was supposed to be on 7:30 or 8:30. And I called him up, and he's like, are you mad? Like, you just missed the test and all of that. And I just was so upset. I was like crying, because that was how terrifying it was. Like, if you missed a test, that was terrifying. If you didn't score in a test, that was terrifying. Missing classes, no matter what, was horrible, horrible. But yeah, so I told him, just please let me give the test, I'll just come right now. And I just went there, and this one biology professor was actually very good. But I mean, I'm not like banishing him, but this was like the scenario. So that is something that played in my mind, is that he just came, he gave me this yellow book, which I classically remember was biology, and he's like, you solve these MCQs, and until you don't get all of them right, you cannot leave from here. And this is what used to happen with us in our class test. If you fail, you have to give the retest, and until that we do not leave you. You're like so mentally tortured with that. You're not in the right headspace, you've not studied properly, and it's just like, oh my god, like I want to get out of here. Like, you would bawl your eyes out almost every week. But yeah, so he's like, unless you solve this. And I just look at him, and I just start crying. And he's like teaching this 3-4 students, and I was like, you know what, just listen to me. Like, you are literally torturing us. You have no idea what we are going through. There is absolutely no acknowledgement of our efforts. You just look down upon us, people who don't do good in tests. Like, you do not realize what is going on in students' mind. Like, I was bawling my eyes out and telling it to him. I was like, maybe what I'm saying is not going to make a difference to you, but you realize that there are students who are losing their dreams. There are students who are capable but not able to perform good because of the way you teach, because of the way you treat them. And that is something that you need to look forward to beginning with, because this is just sabotaging people's mind. This is just degrading their mental health, which is not a good thing. And maybe this is not going to make a difference to you, but it's just like really messed up with my mind. And yeah, that was about it. And I woke up and I was crying, 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 and I was, I told you, like, I was just thinking, when should I make it? And I was like, you know what, this is it. I think this was meant to be, and today I need to sit down and talk to you guys about it, because it's not a great place to be in. You will not realize also how bad it's affecting you, because you're not even at that point. When I was like 16, 17, I wasn't even aware about mental health issues. I wasn't even aware that it's okay to be not okay. I wasn't even aware that every single person suffers with mental health issues, and that was not the time when all of this was normalized. So imagine going through all of that alone, and post my result, like going into physiotherapy, but like being so looked down upon, being so shamed, and like just not given the acknowledgement because I did not perform well, was the worst time of my life. I know I'm doing good right now, but what happened to me, I don't want it to happen to any of you. Like, surround yourself with people who are always going to motivate you, who are always going to be happy in your achievements, no matter what it is, good or bad, who's always going to keep your mental health in check and keep you in good spirits. Because we all are very well aware now, and especially aspiring medical students, like, just know, find your safe place, because nothing else is gonna be, no one else is gonna be a safe place. And I want my channel and my community to be that safe place, that no matter what you're looking for, and no matter how much you're struggling, there's always a safe place for you to come and talk about. And this is what I want it to be about, like, because you are going through so much while giving that exam and preparing for that exam, and constantly in the fear of disappointing people. And if you don't have people who will support you, will understand your struggles, you are just gonna end up in that loophole, and you're just gonna fall down. And it's you probably it's very difficult to get back to what kind of person you are, because I don't see myself as the person that I was, and I don't think I will ever be within. It's a whole journey. It's been really, really difficult. And yeah, that is it. Like, this is something short, but if there's any other conversation starter, please leave them in the comments. I would love to talk more about it, but I just want this to be a safe space, and I just want you all to know that it's not always good and rosy, and there is a lot of toxicity, there is a lot of negativity. There are good parts to it, of course, but this is something that no one really talks about. This is the truth. And please have respect for every medical field. Don't feel guilty of not scoring good. Keep your options open, and whatever is meant to be for you, whatever is your destiny, that's where you're gonna go, no matter how hard you try, and no matter how much you don't try. Like, whatever's meant to be is gonna meant to be, and it's gonna take you to a good life, and what your life is meant to be all about. So